Now that Matt Gaetz and his merry band of 8 have voted to vacate the Speaker seat,
It's true.
kick McCarthy to the curb,
You are correct, sir.
blew up the House,
Okay.
big question is, now what?
Well,
What's the plan? Well, if anything, Chip Roy out of Texas has got some ideas.
what?
Drops hammers, and goes savage.
Damn!
I'm Jazz Berganzo, and this is what's next. What's up, guys? Jazz Berganzo, what's next? Your daily dose. If you guys are feeling good today on this Thursday, well, in the aftermath of Matt Gaetz and his merry band of 8 blowing up the House, kicking McCarthy to the curb. Big question, a lot of people are asking, and of course I asked it in my last video, is now what? What's the plan? Where do we go from here? The Democrats are loving every minute of this, and as they should. You got the media who is loving every minute of this, as they should, because they see us as, well, the Republican House is in chaos. They're out of control. They have no idea what the fuck they're doing. The hell are they doing? McCarthy was so good. He was so good. You know, according to Donald Trump, he said nice things about him. But you then have those like Chip Roy, representative of Texas. If you know anything about him, the man is a total patriot. He is a total savage, and he lets you know it. Well, recently, just 1 hour prior to the vote, he showed up on The Blaze's Steve Deace, and he let you know what he thought. And he had some plans, and the guy went all medieval. And here we go.
Not going to support it because at this moment, I believe that's pulling the coach out heading into the fourth quarter. I do not like a lot of the play calls to date. I do like some of them. We passed a really good border security bill, passed a really good defense authorization bill, and a pretty strong defense appropriations bill. We've appointed a lot of good conservatives to have a voice at the table. A lot of good things have happened. We've had amendments on the floor. We forced tough votes. You saw that vote last week where I offered an amendment to say no Pride Month at the Department of Defense. 18 Republicans had to vote. Well, didn't have to. They chose to vote no, but they had to take a vote. We didn't used to do that. Didn't used to be open. A lot of good things have been occurring. I'm trying to do my part to keep doing that. But here's the thing. My colleagues that are calling this question aren't wrong that we have not achieved our objectives. My play call is Speaker just has for 45 days. That's 42 days now. In my opinion, he's got 42 days to prove that he can get this done. And if he can't, then we probably ought to think about a different play call. But right now, we'll see what happens today. If it's vacated, we'll go do our job. This is the sausage. Everybody get comfortable with it. It's a republic. We all have a voice. We got to go in here and we got to fight it out. You guys just get to see it, and C-SPAN will be made great again, I guess.
So you already answered my next question. If your view is we're in the fourth quarter, so if I'm watching a sporting event, I know when the fourth quarter ends, right? There's a clock that tells me it's counting down. I know when that is going to end. So that was my next question for you. How do we know then if your view is to see this as the fourth quarter of the game? When's the game end? What's the clock? You're saying it's 42 more days.
Sure. For me, I set that as we got to see something in this 42-day window now that the Speaker has set by mid-November. I do not want to crack through that without having cemented some actual tangible victory.
And what would that be? What would that be, Chip? Lay that out for our audience. What would a tangible victory look like to you?
Let me give you a menu of options. Number one, that we would have gotten the appropriations bills passed, going to conference, and that we would be moving forward with spending cuts that are actually real. Or that we would have gotten H.R. 2 signed into law and a few other provisions necessary to secure the border. Or that we would have constrained Ukraine spending or zeroed it out, but more likely constrained Ukraine spending combined with getting something like border security, force the Senate to agree and the president to agree. There are other things we could do. Pay fors, for example. If you're going to do $20 billion, $30 billion, $40 billion of Ukraine funding, which I oppose, But if that happens to govern and you get a border security package and you get constraint on spending, then pay for it out of, for example, the IRS expansion or the Inflation Reduction Act. But I don't want any more of this garbage of like, well, you know, you just got to wait till we elect a president. You just got to wait till we control the Senate. No, we have the majority of the House. Like, you guys all went around whining and wailing and gnashing of teeth on shutting the border down. I'm sorry, shutting the government down, or you know, oh my God, we might default on our debt. You wouldn't fight. Okay, so now you're going to tell me that you won't fight for border security and to cut spending and to hold the line for Ukraine?
Why didn't they think it was a good plan? Normally, that'd be a group of people you'd be aligned with. So why did they disagree with you here?
Well, these are my friends and colleagues that I respect, and I think they have basically, I think, bought into the notion that advancing appropriations bills to change this back to regular order, which I fully support, was more important than the point that we would be making by going into shutdown by saying, guys, you've got to cut spending significantly and secure the border. I disagree. But I read this morning to the Republican conference a list of almost certain truths that come, say, March 31st, 2024. We will be running with a presidential candidate, potentially, unless you're my preferred candidate, Ron DeSantis wins, that has massive variables, if I'm being kind. You can talk about on your show. Mm-hmm. Probably not getting where we want to go with respect to DOJ weaponization or DOD accountability. Now, what do we do to change that? Well, the Republican conference, frankly, the speaker reflects that Republican conference. The American people need to know your Republican conference does not reflect what the campaign messaging is. And that's what the next 45 days will tell us, no matter what happens today.
Now, I know up here, we're all in a one giant circle pleasuring ourselves to the polls talking points. Okay? Again, we're all just focused on what the point spreads and power ratings tell us they're supposed to win, but then we play the games and we watch the game take place and we get a different result than what the point spread said, but we're supposed to still act like the team that was favored in the point spread won, not what we actually just saw. So up here, we've got all these numbers and everything else that we are pleasuring each other to on a frequent basis. Down here, where the games are actually played, Democrats have overperformed in all 30 of these by an average of 11 points. I don't know what to do. I mean, we're sitting here. I actually would probably more agree with Matt Gaetz, frankly. But so who's your alternative? Steve Scalise? What? Okay, so another technocratic California Republican. Why is this worth my time, if that's the case? His boss, the Godfather, is out there saying yesterday, I love Kevin McCarthy. He said great things about me this morning. Okay, so you can't even get the two lieutenants of the Trump mafia, Marjorie Taylor Greene and Matt Gaetz, in agreement on this. They were in disagreement in January. They're in disagreement now.
It's true.
I was looking at your feed, so McCarthy's perfectly fine with Trump, but if you won't vote to get rid of him right now, you're a total rhino. I was reading that in your comments. Okay.
What the fuck?
This is freaking a disaster and rudderless, and honestly, I'm losing interest just collectively, and I'm about to just get thee to a nunnery and just, go full on Billy Graham, and you all figure, I don't care. I am reaching the point, I'm paid to care, I don't care. It's getting harder to make me care. This is a joke. It's rudderless, and it seems as if we want to sell each other talking points that actually produce any form of substantive victory whatsoever. Tell me I'm wrong.
No, I mean, you talked about a circle of your description, pleasure. I know what you're doing there. I would also argue that, some of our brothers and sisters, particularly in the, MAGA camp, I think, particularly enjoy the circular firing squad. You want to come at me and call me a rhino, you can kiss my ass. Look, I've spent a lifetime fighting for limited government conservatism. I have laid it all on the line. I've not seen my family but for 2 days in the last 30 days. You go around talking your big game and you thumping your chest on Twitter. Yeah, come to my office and come have a debate, mother. You know why? Because I'm standing up for this country every single day. And Steve, I'm not going to give up. I'm not going to go to a nunnery. Because God damn it, there were people who were buried over in Normandy who deserve us to stand up for what they fought for. So that's what I'm going to do. And all of you fuckers out there who are out there saying what you're saying out on social media, you stick it. I'm going to go down to the floor and do my job, and I'm going to stand up for the people who fought for this country. And I'm going to do it the way I think is right for the people that I represent. That's what I think.
I think that sums up a way a lot of people think, brother. I do. I just don't think they know what to do instead.
My thoughts. Wow. Just wow. That guy, Chip Roy out of Texas, if we had 15, 20 of Chip Roys like that spread out throughout the House and the Senate, then maybe shit would have actually gotten done. I believe that no one has the testicular fortitude, let's put it that way, of one Chip Roy out of Texas. The man's a total savage. And the man's a patriot. And you saw by the emotion, the raw emotion out of him, that he loves his state, he loves the people who voted for him, and most importantly, he loves this country. And the guy is willing to do whatever it has to be done by the Constitution to get it done. But then when you have so many knuckleheads, so many fuck up knuckleheads in Congress who don't give up, I got a paycheck, that's all I care about. Hey, I'm going to do this for you. I'm going to do that for you. Then once they get in, as we always know, they don't do shit except for themselves. Mitch McConnell, anyone? Bella Lugosi, Nancy Pelosi, anyone? Dick Durbin, anyone? Lindsey Bendover Graham, anyone? And on and on and on. So God bless Chip. I'll tell you right now, God bless him. He's a patriot. Steve Deace is a patriot. These guys just keep on pushing and pushing to get the message across that this is how you fight for the people who got you in. Yeah, it's great to show up to the dance. You know, hey, I got the dip in hand. There you go, lay it on the table, and you fade into the background like Homer Simpson. No. The second you walk into that dance, the second you got the dip in your hand and you drop it there, you need to make an emphasis that, damn it, I'm here, mother. Now what you got? So, great job by Chip. The man, like I said, again, I can't use this word enough. The man is a total savage, and he just loves his country, and God bless him for it. And with that being said, I'm Jazz Berganzo. This is What's Next. Want to see more like this? Please leave a comment below. Like it, share it, subscribe to it, hit that notification bell so you guys never miss a thing, and we'll see you next time. Peace.